So he came out of junior as one of the most highly ranked goalies of the late 1970s. He eventually played the majority of his career in the minor leagues before an interesting series of events led him to play with the Stanley Cup finalists in 1993. And he also became an International Hockey League icon because he played with tons of teams in that respected organization. So we're going to talk today about the curious case of Rick Knickle. Now, Rick Knickle, for a lot of people, they don't know this. He was born in Chatham, New Brunswick, and people are saying, "Where's Chatham, New Brunswick?" Well, Chatham, New Brunswick, it was a real place. Chatham became part of what's called Miramichi City now, but Chatham is a very beautiful community in the North Shore, or the central North Shore of New Brunswick. Now, he grew up on the Canadian Royal Air Force bases where his father was serving across Canada, and where he was born when Chatham had a base there. Now, he played junior with the powerful Brandon Wheat Kings in the late 1970s. Now, in 79, he posted probably one of the best records in WHL or WCHL history, 26-3-8. He also played 16 games in the playoffs, and he had one shutout. Now, the previous year, he's non-draft year, he went 34-5-2. So in 1979, eventually, the Buffalo Sabres drafted him in the 6th round, 116th overall. Now, he continued with the Wheat Kings for the 1980 season, wrapped up the campaign, and was sent to the Muskegon Mohawks of the IHL, where he played 16 games. Now, that was his first team in the IHL. 81, he was sent to the EHL, where he played 43 games. 82, called up to the Rochester Americans. Back to the IHL in 83 with the Flint Generals, and he also shared time with Rochester. 84 and 85, he ended up with the Flint Generals, but Montreal eventually signed him in the 84 season, where he was given an opportunity to prosper with the Sherbrooke Canadiens. Now, unfortunately, it didn't work out, and that year the Sherbrooke Canadiens had a very, very strong squad. The only problem was he became a journeyman right after, even though he didn't make the Montreal main roster. He really prospered in the IHL and was considered probably one of the league's most underrated players. He won at least 20 games 5 times in the minor leagues. He led the IHL in goals against average twice, and did the same once in the EHL. Now, Knickle had all been given up on a chance to play in the NHL when he was summoned to the NHL as an injury replacement for Kelly Rudy in the 1992-93 season. Now, Kelly Rudy was the number 1 goalie for the Kings. Now, with 522 career minor league games behind him, the Kings chose to sign Knickle and secured his rights in a cash transaction with the San Diego Gulls of the IHL, which owned these rights, which were kind of an unofficial AHL NHL hybrid because they had a lot of independent players. Now, Knickle looked solid while playing 10 games that year and 4 more the following year. He was with the Kings team that went to the 93 Stanley Cup playoffs, but he was a team spare goaltender and didn't appear in any playoff games. Now, after his short stay in the NHL over 2 seasons, Knickle went back to the IHL to play for 4 different teams to bring his career total at league to 12. In 95, he posted a 2.9 goal against average for Detroit Vipers and led the IHL in shutouts. He retired in 1977 after playing 19 games with the Milwaukee Admirals. Now, his talent as a player, even though he didn't play many games in the NHL, drew the recognition of the Nashville Predators, who made him the amateur scout for Western Canada in September of 97, prior to the team's 99 season. So they were preparing. He remained in that position until April 16, 2002. He was promoted to Assistant Director of Amateur Scouting on April 16, 2002, on the same day. Knickle was basically a good player, a good representative. And just talk about the awards he won. In 89, he won the James Norris Best Average, IHL. 93, James Norris Best Average. But if you look at his full totals, ladies and gentlemen, it's quite impressive. He would rarely finish under 500 on a given season. We're just going to look at just some of the stats, just a generality. Erie Blades in 81, 33-6-1. 89 4-win Comets, 22-16-5. Flint, 25 wins with Flint. San Diego 92 before King signed him away from the Gulls. 28 wins in 92 and 34 4-4. So he was the best minor league goalie of his era. Detroit Vipers again 24 for 15-5. Some really impressive totals, and he ended up overall in his minor league career, give or take, I think it was like an 88% save percentage, 87 or 88. So quite impressive. NHL totals, ladies and gentlemen, 14 games, 3.74 goals against average. He won 6-4 in 93 with the Gretzky Kings, and 94 4 games, 1-2. And his save percentages were always quite strong. Several seasons actually, he finished over 90%, which is a glory season. That 93 season, when you get 91% save percentage and a 2.17 average, that's pretty tremendous. So that's the story of Rick Knickle. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you in advance for all the great support you're giving to the channel. Our subscriptions are up about 5 or 10% in recent days. Please give me a like, comment, or subscribe. If you like monetization on this channel, we have to get a few more hundred signups. Tell your friends if you want to help me on that. But our total page views has passed 111,000, which doesn't sound much, but because there's no monetization, when you find my channel, it's because you're doing a search, and when you come back to the channel, you are making this work because you're taking time to look at our archives. We have over 800 podcasts here, inspired by my career as a journalist in New Brunswick as a sports editor and sports columnist. It's kind of an expansion of my old Sports File column. There's vintage. There's also versions of my remote control TV column, my screenshots movie column, which were all printed in Brunswick News and the Raymond and Cadogan family of papers through the years. So thanks for listening. I appreciate all the listeners here. And just a shout out to the people who are watching the playoffs. A distant cousin of mine, William Courier, is playing with Vegas, so that's a team I'm taking up for. And there's no way you're going to take up for Tampa Bay because, what they did to Montreal in the playoffs a few years back. It's hard for Canadians fans. So thanks for listening. And if you see Rick Knickle in your travels, just tell him he's one of the best, because we think that in the Miramichi region and in the Nova Scotia region as well, where he had most of his upbringing. So have a good day. Bye.